Great. Now, this is a bonus choice. This is something you get to do or not do. I highly encourage you to do it because this is, I'm bringing this in as a bonus so you can recognize what a bonus is for you, right? The premise of this course is very simple. If you have best practices, right, best bang for your buck choices, best practice distinctions in every area of your business, and you systematically learn how to use them, it will transform how you approach your business and the choices you make. Part one. Part two, if you bring authenticity and truth and really getting in touch with what you care about, where your skills are, why you care about the planet, how you participate in this, and you bring that to each of those best practices, it'll make every part of it meaningful, fulfilling, and most importantly, powerful in terms of your capacity to make something happen in the world. Okay? So you've got the best practices of business, the power of authenticity. And as you bring those together, your own way of thinking sets up a mindset or set of habitual ideas, a set of unconscious habits in relation to business, such that when you approach any business issue for yourself and others, you will, boom, all of a sudden be able to cut out the 100 various choices and see the 3 or 4 that are actually going to make a difference. And when you do that, you'll be able to go, oh, I'm going to make a new choice. And making a choice is somewhat like, they have a thing where you're faced with a why and you go this way or that way. Every time you make a choice, you open up a whole new set of possibilities and close off a set of possibilities or distance yourself from them. You move towards something. Well, I like to think of it as you open a door and you go down a hallway. Joseph Campbell, The Power of Myth and Hero with 1,000 Faces, he once said that follow your bliss and doors will open for you that wouldn't open for anyone else. And one way of thinking about that is it's some magical, you put it out to the universe and somehow, right, which somehow is something we're going to be getting into, somehow is not a good process to build your business on. Somehow the universe will align and give you what you want. Now, a different way of thinking about it is that when you get clear about what you want and you follow your bliss, when you take the attitude of loving what you do well and bring it to your business, right, and use these best practices and bring your authentic power to it, you're going to start making distinctions that you weren't making before. And that will lead you to make new choices that you weren't making before, right? Because the basic principle is you cannot make a choice that you don't perceive, right? You can't make a choice you don't perceive. If you don't perceive the choice, you can't take it, right? If you don't see, oh, I can go this way or that way, then you're not going to make the choice. When you make a choice, it's very similar to opening a doorway where you go down a hallway. And as you're going down that hallway, there are going to be different doors in that hallway that only exist in that hallway. And then you'll be able to open those doors. And after you've done that a few times, once you go down this hallway and open a door and go down that hallway and open a door and go down that hallway, all of a sudden you're faced with a whole set of choices that nobody else has. And that's where your genius gets to shine. That's where you start recognizing, oh my gosh, well, why don't I just do this? And that would solve all kinds of problems. And then you're the person who's bringing the new skill to the market, and people will pay you oodles of money in order to do it. That's where all the great breakthroughs come from. It's where someone follows their passion, someone follows their own truth down a doorway. They get clear about their authenticity, they learn the best practices, and they implement them in reality. That's what we want to do. And the process of a bonus question is about training your brain to go one more step down the hallway, one more step down the hallway, opening up another door down the hallway of your greatest understanding, your greatest caring, your greatest insight. The phrase that I use for this is make commitments in times of clarity so that you don't have to make choices in times of confusion. All right? And you'll notice there's 4 C's in there. Make commitments in times of clarity so that you don't have to make choices in times of confusion. 4C, right? So it's about foreseeing your future, right? You foresee your future by making commitments in times of clarity so you don't have to make choices in times of confusion. And the way you make that happen is by doing the bonus work. It's your choice. Here's the bonus work. I want you to go back and reread everything that you've written in this set of exercises. In the process, because you've gone through it, step by step, and because you've approached these questions from so many different angles, as you go through and do it, your brain's going to be making all kinds of connections. That's the point. Because when you make those connections in your brain will all of a sudden just start responding differently to the world. And if you make those connections in times of clarity, if you ask good questions, if you bring your authenticity and your heart to it, if you make very clear distinctions, the web that gets formed in your brain, the unconscious patterns and habits, the mindset that gets built ends up transforming your experience of the world such that you just naturally start making choices that other people call genius, right? For you, it's just obvious. Of course you do this and not that. For other people, they're not making the distinctions you're making. They haven't gone down all of those hallways, made all those paths. And so what you're doing is the 1 out of 1,000 choice. Everyone else is going, oh, I could do this. And you're all, oh, no, I'm not going to do any of those things. I'm going to do this. And that choice is the one that brings your gift to the world in a way that builds relationship authentically, provides real value, such that people just love to give you money because when they interact with you, their life gets better. That's the game. All of that said, here's the bonus exercise. Go through what you've written. Notice what you notice. If at any point you want to take notes, take notes. And then when you're all done, take and try to summarize what you've learned in one paragraph, right? Just, okay, here's what I noticed. I learned X, Y, and Z about how I normally approach business and how when I approach business with these questions for an extended period of time and I go through them step by step, I get a new perspective on business. What is that new perspective? How is it different from your old perspective? And what does it make possible? What's the trajectory that set of new understandings points towards? That if you did that for a year, and you're going to, because that's the purpose and the structure of this course, right? In a group with support, as you do that, the relationship that you have with business currently is going to seem so unbelievable. It's so oversimplistic. It just doesn't compare to the set of mastery and congruence and confidence and knowledge and power that you have by the time you're done with this course. So, bonus question, go through everything you've learned, make comments, and at the end, summarize it in a paragraph. If you do that, that paragraph is going to be a tremendous gift that you can give to the people in the community and that the people in the community of this course can give to you. Enjoy. I look forward to seeing you or in the next video, although you'll be the one seeing me, and seeing you in the next course, talking during our coaching sessions, during our teleseminars, during our masterminds. Make your deepest happiness your highest priority. I to I to thou.